today I'm going to talk about chapter 1 through 7 of the book, The Practice of Statistics. In statistics, you collect, analyze, and draw conclusions from data sets. In that data set, you can find information about individuals like people or animals, and for each one of those individuals, they are given a variable which describes the characteristics of an individual. There are two variables, a categorical variable and a quantitative variable, which are numerical characteristics like height and weight. When gathering information about a survey you took, you can place your data in a frequency table or a pie chart. Here's an example on how you can do that. Let's say you took a survey about which ice cream flavor does your family members favor the most, vanilla, chocolate, or cookies and cream, and there are 8 people in your family. 3 said chocolate, 2 said vanilla, and 3 said cookies and cream. In a frequency table, you would set it up like this. You would have one side labeled flavors, then you would have the other side labeled frequency, then you will input the data that you collected. 2 people said that they favored vanilla, 3 said chocolate, and 3 said cookies and cream. And there you have it, a frequency table. A pie chart has a little more steps to it. You first make the data you got into fractions, which means vanilla has a fraction of 2/8. Chocolate has a fraction of 3/8, and cookies and cream has a fraction of 3/8 also. After you've done that, you turn those fractions into decimals. And you can use a calculator for this by dividing 2 divided by 8 is 0.25. Move the decimal 2 places, and then you get 25%. 3 divided by 8 is 37.5. And you get 37.5%. And same for this one, was 3/8, so you get 37.5%. After that, your chart will look something like this. Here is the 25% for vanilla. And then you draw the rest of your circle. No, it's not quite a good circle, but then you divide this part into a half because the outcomes of these are both 37.5%. So put 37.5%, 37.5%. Label this chocolate, and this one cookies and cream. There you have it, a pie chart. Alright, on to the next lesson. I'm going to show you another way how to chart and conduct a survey. Okay. Another example survey answer is, what kind of chips do your classmates love the most? Doritos, Funyuns, or Takis? And I surveyed 20 students. Alright, when I surveyed the 20 students, 6 said Doritos, 2 said Funyuns, and 12 said Takis. This is hypothetically speaking if I were to conduct it. So, to go deeper into analyzing the data, you can go further by finding out how many boys and girls liked each of those chip brands. So to do that, I made another chart. And this is how you write that chart. I put girls, G for girls right here. And then B for boys right here. Then I made 3 sections for the chip brands. Up here, Doritos, Funyuns, and Takis. Then I made another section for totals. And then right here, another total section. Alright. So, hypothetically speaking, 3 girls said Doritos, and 3 boys said Doritos. 0 girls said Funyuns, 1 boy said Funyuns. 5 girls said Takis, and 7 boys said Takis. When you add the girls and boys for Doritos, you get 6, 1 for Funyuns, and 12 for Takis. When you add this up, you get 8 girls took part in the survey, and 12 boys took part in the survey. And then altogether, 20 people participated. Right. Now, on some questions, they will give you a question like, how many girls out of boys chose Doritos? And you would write 3 out of 6 girls favored Doritos from here. And then they can also give you a question like, out of the boys, how many liked, let's say, Funyuns? Then you would write 1 out of 12 boys favored Funyuns. The last topic I'm going to talk about is sampling distribution. My example question is going to be, alright, my last question is going to be, oh no, never mind. Okay, so before I get to that, I'm going to show you how to use a dot plot, and how you can get sampling distribution from that, or how to use it actually. Right. Some people also use dot plots when plotting down their data for surveys like how old are the kids at your school. The dot plot will look something like this. The ages that some people answered were 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. Alright, 2 said 14, 3 said 15, 4 said 16, 3 said 17, and 2 said 18. After making the graph, I have to analyze it, like finding out if it has a normal distribution. Its range, the mean, median, mode, and standard deviation. For this dot plot, the distribution is normal. The reason being is because if you were to categorize this up or divide this up, in the percentiles, 34.1% of the data will be here, 34.1% right here, 13.6% right here, 13.6% right here, and there is no skewness. Everything is centered. Also, after you find the range that the range is 4, the mean is 16, the median is 16, and the standard deviation is 1.300, and the mode is also 16. After you see that these are the same, you can conclude that it's a normal distribution also. When sampling or doing surveys, you have to make sure to avoid bias by picking your participants randomly. A few ways of doing that is by picking names out of a hat or picking out a ball with a number on it from a bingo cage. Now, the last topic I'm going to speak on today is sampling distribution, but going deeper into it. Now, my last question is my example question is, how much percent did my classmates get on their tests? Two people said 100%. One said 99. One said 98. Two said 96. One said 95. Another 94. 91. Two said 90. 186. 181, 78, 76, 74, 67, 65, 59, 45, 40, 35, 28, 26, and another said 20. Now for these, after analyzing it, you have to find out the range. Now the range is subtracting the biggest number from the maximum number from the minimum number, which means 100 minus 20, and you will get 80. The range is 80. The mean is calculated by adding up. Now you use a calculator for this. So by adding up all the data points, all the values, and dividing it by how many numbers you have. And for this instance, you have 25 data points. So the sum of all the points divided by 25. Okay. And when I use a calculator and did the division, I got 72.208. There you have it, the mean. Then I calculated the median, and you get the median by finding the middle number, which was 79.5. Next, I've calculated the mode. Now, there are 3 values that are on here twice. So in that instance, I was taught to put in A. Because there isn't any one singular number that is just on there twice. Because you have 100 on there twice, 90 on there twice, and 96. Alright, after that, you take your calculator and find the standard deviation, which was 26.395. Alright, after that, you find out what your quartile 1 is and your quartile 2 is, which was 30.5 and 90.5. You'd find that by finding the medians between 81 and 100, and 81 and the maximum, and 81 and the minimum, basically. Alright, and then of course you know the minimum is 20 and the maximum is 100. Alright, that concludes my session. I hope everybody learned a little part of statistics, and I hope you have a good day.